Hello, and welcome back to my podcast. My name is Marvelous Marva, and today is March the 20th. It is actually 11:11 a.m. Central Time where I'm located. It's Monday, and we are now at episode 11. Yay, so many 11s. Yes, I've made it to episode 11 here, and I'm so proud of myself first and foremost because this is definitely something that's more of like a hobby for me and also a way for me to just express myself, and the fact that I've been able to also kind of hold myself accountable to recording an episode at least once a week. I wanted to start off small so that I could get used to it. I have Gemini in my chart, so that part or that side of me likes to start things and sometimes not finish. So I've been working on reprogramming and also using awareness to understand that, hey, that may be a part of what's in the story of Gemini, but I can change the story once I'm aware of that. And the new version of me, the new story that I've written is that I can follow through and I can stay focused on the things that I actually want to do, and I can stay consistent. I can use the energy that is out there right now for us to use to allow myself to grow. So, as you guys are listening, I'm also growing in this process. We're all growing together, like we never stop growing. And that is why today's episode is titled Earth School and Our Assigned Lessons. I'll repeat it. That was Earth School and Our Assigned Lessons. So, where I'm going with this is, for some time now, I've been really just considering that life is school. When you go back to what life was like when you were in school, when you were still a child, it completely mimics the whole process. And so I was talking to my daughter recently, and I was just telling her about how when we're in school, we only have I think it's maybe 12 years of school. If you go all the way up to 12th grade without going to college, 12 years of school. While we're in that phase, usually it's up until the age of 17, 18, some places. When you're in that phase of life, you're constantly getting new assignments, new lessons. You have to learn this and that. You're kind of shuffled along. It happens really fast. It doesn't seem fast in the moment, but when you can look back on it, it totally happens fast. You're kind of shuffled from these new people to this new person to this new teacher, this new classmate. Just everything just changes really fast. So it kind of gets us prepared and ready for change. But it also teaches us that one day things are going to be, easy for us to grasp. And the next day it's going to be, now it's time to build on that thing that was easy to grasp. And here's the next layer of that. And it gets a little bit more challenging, and we take our time and we learn, and sometimes we don't learn, so we have to try it again, and we keep trying it until we finally get it. I definitely want to just pause and say God bless all the teachers out there, because that is a job. To be able to teach our future how to do all of the mechanics that are involved in the school and learning the things that they want us to learn. So basically they want us to learn things that are able to get us to function in society. While we're functioning in society, we can pull from the things that we learn. A lot of things that we learn, may not be as important, but it's based on someone else's. And I'm going to pause for just a second here. Or maybe not. My kitty just decided to jump on her wheel, so I don't know how loud that is, but to you listening, but she decided that was a good idea. I got her this wheel that she can run on, and yeah, she does it randomly. It's louder than I thought. I got it from a website called Fast Cat, but she totally loves it. Her previous mom, her foster mom, said that she sent me a video of her running on it when she was smaller, and she was like, "This was her favorite thing to do." She's about to get on it now. Even looking at her just growing and going through the life lessons. So, back to what I was saying. We are in school still. We only have those 12 years of developmental. So, our actual school time is very short. Our adulthood time is pretty long. It's like, I think I told my daughter, it's like almost like 70, 80 years. Somewhere around there, maybe like 82 years. If we were to live until we're 100, like all of us. So, having that much more time, like this, like being in school, it was pushing us along. So, it made us kind of go with the flow more. And then when we became adults, we realized, oh, well, we can kind of like control, like, some pieces of our environment, our reality. So we don't have to just be like pushed along with the flow, even though a lot of us are just still pushed along with the flow. We just sometimes tighten up and, like respond based on the memories that we have from childhood or from other people projecting them onto us or whatever else is going on. But basically, we get to be children for like our entire existence, if you think about it. For the longest time, we were all pretending like we knew what we were doing and this, that, and the other, even though we really don't. We're definitely all just here pretending and taking it one day at a time and just kind of like floating. At times when I was in school, I remember it being really hard. I do remember, like feeling like, oh, why do I have to go back to that place where no one likes me and where my lessons are hard? And that was as I got older. In the beginning, I really learned really fast. So, but as like middle school and high school came on and algebra and all that, math got harder for me. So I wasn't excited about that class. And then I was like pretty socially awkward most of my entire like young life. So I didn't have like that many friends. So I was always navigating like not feeling good enough. As an adult now in adult school, I have had so many lessons come my way of how I can feel like I am enough. The relationships that we make as we're adults, those really help us to grow, whether we know it or not. Sometimes we think that, oh, why is this happening to me right now? And honestly, like, it's good that it's happening. Whatever is happening is just another lesson to teach us something else that we didn't already know about ourselves. So, lessons. What lessons have you learned recently being an adult? They're all stories, they're all things that just pop up out of nowhere. One minute we're just sitting there, the next minute the phone rings and it's like, hey, I need you to do this, that, and the other. And that's actually like a lesson that I just got recently. The phone rang. I was just sitting there minding my own business, just waking up. And the phone rang. I answered the phone, and it was a request, someone asking for something. And I thought about it, and I was like, this time I had quick reaction because normally, as I was going through the process of, like working it out in my head, like what it is they're trying to ask, it sounds like they need something because they were dancing around their words. And so when we finally got down to what, the whole purpose of the call was for, I thought faster than I'd ever thought before. And I was like, well, what about this person? Because they live like, 10 minutes away versus my 45 minutes away. And I might be exaggerating. Maybe it's 35 minutes with no traffic. And see, even that's just a part of me feeling a little bit of guilt, like, dang. But I watched myself go through the whole process this time. And I was just like, wow, I didn't allow guilt because I had those thoughts. Everything was happening at once, but I was just still there in the bed, just sitting there listening. And I was just like, I don't really want to go do this. Someone else is closer. That's a good idea. Let me bring it up. And it worked. The other thoughts were, this is a way that you can show that you care. You should do it. What are they going to think about you? Like, what kind of person are you that doesn't want to just immediately go help because someone asks? The people-pleasing lesson, I don't know if that one, I think that it's getting better. That's the story that I'm going to write right now while I'm talking. I think that the people-pleasing lesson is getting better, and we are understanding how to think of ourselves first and not worry about hurting someone else's feelings or, just doing something that we might have felt guilt for. Having those kinds of feelings, like the guilt and the frustration and anger and sadness, having those kind of feelings is kind of like an indication to let you know, oh, I feel guilty about not helping. If it's something that you're supposed to be doing, then it's just going to happen with a lot of ease. You might feel and I can't say you might, I'm going to say you will feel those feelings. They'll come up. The ones that are not of love, like the feelings that are not of love, the ones that make you feel something is wrong. Those feelings are going to come up. And then when those feelings come up, if you're able to recognize those feelings are coming up and use that as your indicator to say, you know what? Like to yourself, no, I'm not going to feel guilty about something that I don't even have control over, and then just move from that place. Then your higher self will usually chip in and you'll get whatever download you need to get in that moment to help you make a better decision and to not act out of things that make you feel, uncomfortable. Thus, doing that will help to write the next page of your story, the next chapter of your story, because then you'll be able to now show the contrast to yourself. Hey, I don't like this. I like this. And now the universe knows how to respond to you and will put those things in your awareness that you do like more, and the situations that you don't like more. Those will be boundaries that you don't have to worry about continually facing those, because they're going to show up, but maybe in different ways, just to test like how much you want to put yourself first. If we're thinking of life being just like we're all just like the same person, but just having different experiences, then it can help to take off some of the weight of feeling like I have to do this. Because no, you don't have to do anything. We're all like, everyone together is doing it. And the more that you choose yourself, and I choose myself, and not to say that we're not going to be helpful. We're helpful, but in other ways, like Spirit works it out. I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but Spirit works it out. We're helpful in other ways, and we continue to get our lessons and continue to show up every day for the next, like, what I say, 72, 82 years. We just keep showing up. And showing up is one of the best things that we can do. There's really nowhere else to go, so why not show up? Sometimes showing up looks differently than we would expect it to look. If I was doing video recording right now, you guys would see what I've been kind of looking at and allowing to just happen. So my cat before was on her wheel. Her name is Aria, by the way. I've had her now we're going on 4 weeks now, so almost a month. Time really flies. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. I feel like I just met her, but she's really cozied up to me. Right now, she is cozied up to my fish. I have a betta fish in a 20-gallon tank. One of the episodes I mentioned it. And she's on top of the thing that has the light for the tank. She's on top of that, and that's on top of the tank. She's still a kitty. She's only maybe 5.5 months now, maybe 6, almost 6. And she's just like sitting up there. She was drinking some of the water. Then she put her paw in. The betta went down to the bottom. Luckily, it's a large enough tank. Soon she'll be too big for that, I think. She's a Siamese kitty, so I don't know. She seems to really be fascinated with water. This morning I saw her drinking from the toilet. My version of Earth School right now, the reality that I've created, is definitely one of ease. I've never created chapters in my story that look this looking for a word that looked this calm. It always seemed like it was going to be like kind of just chaotic. And it can be at times. There's times where I have to go and allow myself to be in someone else's chaos. But when I'm at home or when I'm in my own spaces, I don't feel that chaos. And sometimes there are, like, I guess you could say this moment right now with, so yeah, that's what I was saying in the beginning of telling the story about my cat sitting up here right now on top of the fish tank. Is yeah, these are the levels of chaos that happen. So like nowhere you go, can you kind of escape like different lessons that come up, different triggers to see how far you've come. With me not like running after the cat and screaming and saying, "Get off that thing!" Like I felt myself in the beginning when I looked over and I saw her up there. I felt myself wanting to say that. I kind of like put my hand in my water and I splashed water that way. Maybe you can hear in one little section, but it was really quiet. I was like, the many things that we can do at once. The water did not reach her, didn't even touch her. She didn't even flinch. I was like, let go and continue talking on your podcast. Everything's okay. When I first got her, the first weekend of having her, I thought I lost her. I don't know if I told this story already, but I thought I lost her. I had the patio door open and I went and took a shower and I forgot to close the patio door. And because it was the beginning of having her, I wasn't sure if she was gonna like jump down 3 flights. I'm on the 3rd floor. So I tried to like relax through it and I was like, she's wherever she's at, she's safe. She's probably hiding. I checked all the spots that she had been hiding in for the past like 2 days of me having her. She wasn't in any of them. So I did the one thing that I wouldn't think that I would normally do, but I guess this is how my character is playing right now. I ran downstairs. I ran down and I looked in like only two places, and a neighbor came outside and I was like, "Have you seen my little white kitty? I just got her." She was like, "No, I haven't seen her." I was kind of watching it all play out while I was experiencing it. And so I came back upstairs and I had made myself a smoothie bowl. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and just eat my smoothie bowl and just relax. Everything's going to be okay. Remember, this is a game. This is, life school. Everything works out for your highest good, no matter what it is. Everything is a lesson to be learned. And this is going to be one too, and it's going to be okay. So I sat there and I listened to a video on YouTube. Someone was talking, and she was talking directly to me. She was talking about like worrying about like wrapping yourself up in the fear and getting caught up in it. And I was like, oh gosh, this is a lesson, definitely, for sure. I relaxed and I ate my smoothie bowl. And I told my other cat came out. I was eating on the patio because the sun was shining bright. I told my other cat, I was like, have you seen Arya? And my other cat goes inside and he stands by the chimney, by the fireplace area. And so I go in there and I kind of hear like some stirring around. I was like, what? Like the way how it looks like nothing can go up there because it's one of those tube fireplaces. But I still hear this movement. My cat, Xander, he's still there looking at it and looking at me. So I look up. I like go put my head underneath the fireplace and I look under. And there she is. There's a ledge on the inside of there that she's small enough to fit on. She was hiding there the whole time while I was running around screaming, Arya, where are you? It was so funny. I laughed so hard afterwards. I was like, first and foremost, thank you for the gift of laughter and for me to be able to turn this moment of feeling afraid into feeling joy that she's still here. Without the darkness, you don't know the light. Without the sadness, you don't know the happiness. Like the paradox of life is so interesting. It feels so good, but it hurts so bad sometimes too. We just have to be here for it. And it gets easier. Like that whole scene did not last for that long. So like my emotions, I went through the wave of everything. But once I made it through the wave, the end result was me holding this kitty, feeding this kitty, remembering that everything's always working out for my highest good. And then it turns out her foster mom texts me, like right after I'd found her. Her foster mom texts, it's only been 2 days, and she's like, how's everything going? And I was like, oh no. I felt like, because I thought about her when the kitty was missing, and I was like, man, how am I going to tell them? Like, what if they ask about her? And here she goes asking about her. And I was like, I could just lie and say, oh, everything's going good. Or I could tell her the truth. And I told her the truth. I was like, oh my God, I almost died. I thought that I lost her. And she was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you, she's so good at hiding. when she was only like a certain amount of days old, I thought I lost her as well. She was hiding so good. I was like, oh, and she was like, I bet that was so scary for you. I was like, it was. I was able to process through my emotions instead of covering it up. Like, I went through the whole lesson. Universe, I think I passed that lesson with flying colors. Thank you so much. Look, she's back on her wheel. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm gonna be quiet. Go, Aria. You on your wheel? No, she's just sitting there. I don't know. It's been so good talking to you guys, being in school with you all. Everyone that I see when I'm out and about, I'm just so grateful for them. Everyone I see when I'm online, just like listening to other voices just like myself. I just feel so good to be here with everyone and to be on the journey of life and to be here for the good and for the things that feel, not so great. To be here for all of it and to know that we are divinely guided by Source, by our universe, by the whole planet that's alive and breathing with us. I feel good to be here at this time. So I am going to end today's episode somewhere around here. I do want to say I have a website, Marvelous Marva Designs, which I will link in the description section. I also post these episodes on YouTube as well, so if you go there, you feel like you've missed an episode or you just want to listen to it over there, definitely do so. And I also have been posting some of my videos from the past of my face being on the camera and me talking about things that are important, things that I still believe in. And also, it's good for me to see how I've grown. I'm not sure which video I'm going to post next, but I've been looking at my past videos and I've got some where I'm painting. I've got some where I'm talking about my spiritual journey. I did so many plant medicines, you guys. They've really all helped. There was one that I did that was called Combo. That's the video that I'm thinking about posting next. So I'm going to see. If you want to check it out, I will also put a link to the YouTube in the description of the podcast and of the video if you're seeing it online. I also, on my website, I have a weekly blog that I post there. I just talk about other different things. For me, talking, the Gemini side of me, Geminis are good at talking. They love to talk. They love intellectual kind of banter back and forth. I've just realized or learned, a friend told me that I was a sapiosexual, and as I've been learning more about the Gemini side of me, I'm realizing that all the people that I'm usually attracted to are people that are able to engage me in conversation. Like, we could talk about anything, but at the base of our talking, like, there's like this knowing of we don't know nobody knows anything, and we're all just here to learn, and we get to learn from each other and hear each other's stories. So yeah, with that being said, check out my weekly blog on marvelousmarvadesigns.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're listening to this on YouTube. I love you all so very much. Thank you so much for listening and being here on this journey with me. And if you've made it this far in my recording, this is for YouTube, and I don't know if you can do it with the podcast. Leave an emoji of the flame Why the flame? Because we're in Aries season right now. So do it. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, and day wherever you're located. Until next time, bye.